Hello, I want to offer some words of encouragement for you new Christian content creators out there who feel you are struggling. You put a lot of time and effort into making a video. You look at the posting times you think might work best for you, and you publish it and get 2 views, 4 views. Well, you know what? I'm in the same boat as you, same issues. So you might ask, well, what can I learn from you? Well, I want to offer my insights as to why I do this and plan to do this for the foreseeable future and some things you might want to consider. First of all, we have to look at, why are we doing this in the first place? Are we doing this for people's praises, to get the people's recognition? Are we doing this for money? No, we're doing this because we've been called by the Holy Spirit to do it. This is His mission for you. He has called you to do this, and He will not set you up to fail. Now, how we determine success we'll look at later in this video, but I will say up front, it is not determined by numbers. We do this to glorify the Lord and to serve Him. Now, what you're going through is not unique in the ministry world. So let's take a look at some examples. Let's step outside, the online world and look at the brick and mortar churches. There are a lot of small, rural, and urban churches too that on Sundays, maybe they have a core group, core membership, 14 members who show up. They may have less than 50 people on the rolls. Many of these are led by bivocational ministers. They have, like you probably, full time jobs elsewhere. They have families to support. But they also have to look at running the affairs of the church during the week and ministering to its members. However, they just keep doing it week after week after week. Then we can also look at the large churches that were started by a minister. Ask any minister who started a large church, and they will tell you that it did not start out the first few days, the first few weeks, months, maybe even years of having hundreds of people flock to hear their sermons when they first started. No, it was a building process. They probably first started as just a few members meeting in a house. From there, they graduated up maybe to a storefront church or a place they could or rent for Sundays, then probably bought or constructed a smaller church and work their way on up from there. But it did not happen all at one time. It took a period of time to build. However, you have some unique opportunities. For one thing, you are not limited by a geographical area. You have the whole world at your fingertips and in different languages too. Also, you have flexibility. The pastors of these churches, they must produce a sermon on Sundays. I know some the small churches have to produce pastor has to produce 1 to 3 a week. I know one church, the pastor has to produce 7 sermons a week, and they better have a sermon, ready on Sundays. They have no option on that. However, you have more flexibility. You do have options on your posting times. While certainly we want to try to adhere to as consistent posting schedule as possible. Let's face it, life happens sometimes. Also, we might start researching a topic and find it's going to be, more complex involved than we thought. It's going to take a little bit longer to produce, and so video, distribution posting might be, delayed a few days. Who knows? Maybe even a week or so. But the important thing is not to sacrifice a quality over your posting times. You don't want your channel to be held hostage or a slave to a strict posting time. It's much better to work on producing a quality video, because remember, your videos are going to be up there for a long time, than just throwing something together at the last minute just to get something out, on your schedule. People may not really look at. Whereas if you just took a little longer, you might get some more engagement with it. One workaround on that is to maybe have a inventory of maybe 2 or 3 presentations. So when these events sometimes occur during the week, you can't get around to it. You have a video readily available there that you can pull from your inventory and post. But the important thing is, don't sacrifice your quality of the video over a strict posting time. Well, now let's go look at back into the online world and look at the large channels. The ones that they post, and within hours they have thousands and thousands of views. They have thousands of subscribers, and you look at the videos and you think, gee, what are they doing that's different? I look at their content and I think mine is just as good, if not better. What is it they are doing that is different? Well, they are doing something that's different. If you go look at their video channel history, you will see that many, if not most, they've been doing this for 10 years or more, maybe 7 years, at the earlier end of it. And so again, when they started out with 0 viewers, just like you. And the first few months, who knows, maybe even years, starting out, they didn't have many viewers. It just took time to build and to work with that. And you may say, well, I see some. I mean, they've only been doing this for 6 months, and look at how many viewers they have. They have thousands of viewers within hours too. Well, yes, there are some I would call statistical outliers on that, but if you look at, I think overall, that the ones that are these like super large channels, they've been at it quite a while now, and that's what's different. So you shouldn't feel discouraged or intimidated by them. You're still in building process. But if there's any takeaway at all you get from this video, any learning point, and that is, Christian service is not about numbers. Success is not measured by how many viewers you get. Let me give a few examples. Okay, I posted video. It does have 4 viewers. Perhaps one of those viewers, they got something out of it. Maybe they heard a verse in your presentation that really they could identify with, and they may think, I want to learn more about this. They open up their Bibles, maybe the first time in years they've opened up their Bibles, if at all, to look up the verse, and they keep going. Maybe there's a mature Christian out there who heard that, and it just really re-excited them, and they got some enthusiasm from that, and thought, what, I'm going to look into that. Or perhaps somebody heard something in it and they thought, what, that approach, I think I might try that. I hadn't considered that. Or maybe even it led a person to Christ. You don't know. I'd much rather have that one viewer than have a video with 500, 5,000 viewers where they just looked at it and they clicked through, and the average retention rate was 6 seconds with it. So again, you don't know. It's not, again, about numbers. The same with watch times. While certainly we want to try to do what we can to have our videos with the most engagement as we can get, but at the same time, don't stress over it because you don't know. Someone may have looked at half the video and then they got what they needed out of it. And, uh, and so the video served its purpose. Also, what I find, and this is with me personally, sometimes I'll be looking at a video and life happens. Someone needs something and it really cannot wait. It has to be taken care of then. The phone might ring. I get a text message in it that really does need an immediate response. So I have to click away. It has nothing to do with my interest in the video or the content, the video with that. But let's look at subscribers. Let's go back to the small church, large church example. I would much rather be a pastor of a church with 14 engaged members in a church that was spiritually alive, active, that did some things in the community than, say, a large church where I show up to give a sermon on Sunday mornings. I look out, the congregation there, everybody seems to be half asleep. Some people look like they don't want to be there at all. They don't look engaged. I'd much rather be in that small church. And so it is with your channel. It's probably better to have a small group of viewers who are regulars on it, and over time you'll develop this, regulars on it, than maybe hundreds and hundreds of people who just click on, click out, and go away. Of course, we do what we can to maximize our views because we feel like, we do have a good message to share and we want as many people as possible to hear that. And so we work on, technical improvements as we go along. I know on my video channel, as probably you can see, I got a long way to go on improvements. However, I just keep working with it going forward. I don't try to just do everything at once, but get, a little tweak here, a little improvement here. Oh, I learned a little more about this. And so one thing I had considered early on was just shutting down my channel and just spending about 3 months working on technical improvements, like developing better thumbnails, better presentation styles, etc. However, I actually had some viewers abroad tell me, don't do that, don't do that. They said, keep on doing what you're doing. We want to hear this. Please, just, keep moving forward. And so, I did and kept, try to keep the momentum going with it. And so I think an important thing too is to be yourself in the videos. You don't want to start looking at other successful, large channels and think, well, if I imitate this person or try to copy his style, I'll do well. You won't. It will fall flat. People will see through that. You have to remember the Holy Spirit called you to this because you are you. The Holy Spirit has something, saw something unique. There's something unique about you that He wants you to share. And look at the writers of the Bible. I mean, they were all, very different people. They all had the same goal, but they presented it in different ways according to their experiences. So bring your experiences into it, as well. By all means, certainly, look at other videos, for, as learning tools as far as presentation styles, content, organization. In seminary, we did that. We critiqued a lot of sermons. However, we didn't go out and start imitating the presenters on that. And don't worry either about starting out if your delivery seems, rough. Again, you can probably tell from this one, I still got a long way to go on improvements on it. But we have to remember that, look at the Apostle Paul in 2 Corinthians 11:6. Paul admits that he was not a polished speaker. He admitted he was sort of an amateur at that, and some scholars believe he had a speech impediment. And there's other references in the Bible that his speaking style was certainly, let's put it this way, maybe not the most professional, but Paul, he kept at it anyway. It did not hold him back, and look what happened on that. So be yourself. Be genuine. Again, if your delivery is not the greatest at the start, actually could work out to be an advantage, because Christ uses our weaknesses sometimes for strengths. People may look at it and think, oh, this person really is, genuine. They're sincere. We can see, they're trying with this. They're for real. And also, you need to look at, put things in perspective. Where you're coming from. I mean, 7 months ago, this channel did not exist at all. I mean, I had no idea whatsoever how to start a YouTube channel. The only time I even looked at YouTube was to perhaps look at a few music videos during my workouts. And so I started with nothing. And so I looked at, took some printed materials, books and guides. I found that they were really of no help. A lot were outdated. I looked at some videos, tutorials on YouTube. Some were good, some not so good. Finally landed on one that was very concise and took me through it step by step to at least get me up going with it. I could become familiar with the tools there and start building. The important thing I think on this too is to have fun with it. Don't let it be a stressor for you, because if you have fun with it, people will see that you're excited about it. That's your passion. And so I want to leave you with a message that from the president of a seminary I went to. He was addressing a group of rural pastors, and his message for them is one I want to give to you, and that is just keep on preaching anyway.